Hey, what's up? Hello, and welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be opening up this Surging Sparks pack in hopes for that wonderful Pikachu. But really, we're just opening it to figure out what kind of energy card I'm going to make this week. I'm getting to the point where I've almost done all the energy cards and I'm ready to start working on the Pokedex. But for now, let's see what we get. We got our code card there. And I'm just going right into here with them. Quickly take our thing here. Give me some light in the box.
Alright, let's find out what energy card we got. We got Bronzong, we got Sandigas, we got Drovert, Ringling, Fluttering, Reverse Swallow, Reverse Pissing, and a Confagrigus. And we are making a Steel Energy today. Alright. Okay. Now, obviously, I can't just jump into this and show you the movie magic. This is all supposed to be the behind the scenes. So, here you go. This is me actually starting to cut the cards. This one is happening kind of backwards, to be completely honest. I 3D printed a template, which you will see shortly in the video here. But unfortunately, the first go around, I forgot to test them before I started streaming. But the first template wouldn't actually hold the card, so I had to beef up the lip on it so that when I put it on the card, it will actually hold on to it and not move. So that is why I'm doing these little bits and parts first, and then you'll see at the end I actually end up cutting with the templates to get it's a lot better of a circle. Because if you've noticed in the last few cards, some of the cuts have been kind of jagged and not quite fully circular, so I was trying to fix that. As you can see with that, I did have a little stamp that I printed, so that one is a bit more circular, not as choppy. As you can see here, we're using the ball roller to roll over the edges and soften everything up and kind of get rid of all those white little burrs and clean up all the cuts. This is something I generally try and do before I paint. If we do it after we paint, we end up scraping most of the paint off, which I found out on, I think it was the one of the first cards. I think the dark card might have been. I did a couple of parts, like I painted a couple of parts and then I used the ball on them. Oh, yeah, here we go. So you see these are the templates that I made. They make it so much easier to cut out that spot. Unfortunately, I can't really get all the way into the corners, so you do have to come in and go in there and finish off your corners a little bit once you're all done with the template. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal for how perfect of a circle it brings out in the end. So you can see how perfect those circles are. That's kind of the behind the scenes magic I attempted this week. Some friends kind of gave me the idea of using a stencil sort of thing. Someone threw the idea out there of using a cricket. I'm not sure if that would work or not, but it would certainly be interesting using it somewhat like a CNC machine. And there we go, just finishing up softening the edges on those last cuts as we hop over into painting now. This I kind of sped through and cut up a whole bunch because it took quite a while to get all this painted. It takes a fine touch to get those edges like you can see here. I do half of the ones, like those little strips, the energy bar and then the bottom energy bar, I do one side at a time, put it down, and then I go back and I get the other half of the edge, just to kind of save me from getting all messy. I kind of get messy as it is, you can see. The goal is to kind of try and hide all the yellow that I can. I'm trying to go with that gray front face. So hiding all the yellow that's next to the energy is kind of a necessity if I want it to look good. At the end you can kind of see a bit of yellow, which I was disappointed by, but either way I think the cards are turning out pretty well. We are getting somewhere with the cards at least. Each one is kind of looking a little bit different, a little more personalized. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to get to the grass card and the psychic card, as those are my two favorite colors, so I'll just enjoy it for the color, of course. Right here we're just gluing the small parts all together because I went double thick for everything, so I did end up gluing the framing together plus the energy card, or the energy button in the middle, as well as the supports that I put underneath of the energy button in the middle. I put that all in that last one there. And here we go, we're going to go ahead and crack this open. As you can see here at the bottom, as I reveal it, there's that little yellow piece. So that's on there because the top bar is one card thicker than the bottom due to the resin input on the emblem at the top, you will later see. But yeah, here we are, just showing off how extra thick that is, as I did double up the cards this time. So it is twice as thick as what my cards usually are. As well, there is technically 4 of those little energy beads in the middle. Once again, we're not gonna just skip through all into the movie magic. We're gonna go back in behind the scenes and show you how to do all this resin stuff. So you can see this, I've got a fine tip kind of a metal carving tool essentially for clay work, where I'm just taking and transferring resin from that little pile and putting it on the card where I want it, just a little bit at a time. You can see the little flash there of the flashlight that I have. That is a UV flashlight, so I am doing this a little bit at a time and using the UV light to cure it as I go. I'm just not showing it on camera as I don't know what UV light would do to the lens of the cameras. The lighter is there to get rid of all the air bubbles that kind of come up as we go through making the card and putting all this stuff on there. Those bubbles are really easy to pop with a little bit of heat. You can see I do try and build up the resin quite a bit, and now we're going to go ahead and add the glow in the dark as well as the color to the pigment here. So I went with a gold glow in the dark with just a black ink, to like 1 drop of black ink actually in that entire bottle, or in that entire pile, hoping for a gray color. I think it came off pretty well, as you'll see here in a sec. Right here, I'm just trying to fill in the corners. I did have a little bit of issue with the glue. I didn't get enough in some spots, so the resin really actually helps hold those corners together when I come into that issue. As you can see here, I'm making the little hammers slash axes. And this is an anvil that you can see. So all this extra stuff that's gray, it all also glows a little bit gold. You'll be able to see at the end, and that is the continuation of the movie magic. And there we have it, card complete. This is the card in the dark. As you can see, it does glow. It's not necessarily a gold glow, but I think due to the black ink on top, it kind of offsets it and makes it a little bit green. But yeah, that's been this episode of Pancake to Beefcake. We're gonna go ahead and replace this water card here, put the steel card in the Charizard stand for this week. At this point, if you're still watching, thank you so much for putting up with my voice and all my random editing. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, or even comment down at the bottom. And until next week, I'll catch you next time. Now go on, get out of here, go do something productive today.